Columbia Icefield. It is absolutely massive. It is nestled in between the mountains behind us here, or in front of us rather. It's 165 square kilometres. So have you guys been to Banff? Okay, so the township of Banff, that whole township there, that can fit into the area of the Columbia Icefield 34 times. So it's absolutely massive. It's a big old sheet of glacial ice. Now it's where the glacial ice is formed and then it overflows into the outlet glaciers. So the Columbia Icefield is kind of like a frozen lake, and then the outlet glaciers are kind of like frozen rivers. So the process of glacial ice forming is called fernification. So it's in layers and layers of snow. They get heavier and heavier the more layers there are, and they push down on the layers beneath, and they squeeze out all of those air particles. So very different to the ice that you may find in your freezer. That's just frozen water, and that's about 50% air. Glacial ice is just layers of compacted snow. Snow initially is about 90% air, and then once it's all been squeezed out by those layers, glacial ice is only about 10% air. So it's very, very dense, and that is why it looks so blue. It acts like a prism, so it absorbs all the different colours of the light spectrum, apart from the blue wavelengths, and those are the ones that get reflected into your eyes. So we're going to be able to see a portion of the glacier today. A lot of it is very, very white at the moment because it's covered with that beautiful fresh layer of snow. So it looks very, very clean. Glaciers can often actually look quite dirty. They have lots of black deposits on them. This is a build-up called cryogonite, and it exists of old ash from forest fires, microorganisms, pollutants from the air. They all bind together to hydrogen atoms on the surface of the glacier. Now as we come along, we've got a ridge on our right hand side. We've got this ridge directly to our right, and then we have another one across the valley here. These are called lateral moraines. Lateral means side in Latin. Moraine is a French word for a pile of rock and debris. Everything always sounds way better in French. So these would have been formed by the glacier. So back in 1843, when the glacier was at its largest, it would have stretched all the way down to the Discovery Centre, all the way up to the tops of these ridges. It would have been about 8 kilometres long and a whole bunch thicker than it is now. So as it's receded, it's left those big ridges in its place from the rock and debris that have come down from the side of the mountain and settled on the side of the glacier. Now we have this other lateral moraine here. We can't see it very well because we're sitting right on top of it. And we're going to go all the way down. You can see the glacier looks pretty far away right now. It's a whole bunch further down. So we're going to go very steeply down to the glacier now. So if you are like me and you're afraid of roller coasters or afraid of heights, you can just do what I do and close your eyes. You'll be absolutely fine.
But I was going to bring the car down later.
This is the steepest commercially unpaved road in North America. You guys have been on highways around this area before. You've seen the signs that warn of a steep grade, right? It says, 8% grade. Trucks, check your brakes and all that kind of stuff. This is a 34% grade. Wow. So it's a whole lot steeper. It's on a 20-degree angle. So we're going to take our time going down here. It's going to take us about 5 years to get to the bottom at this rate. It's the world's slowest roller coaster. Now in New Zealand we have the world's steepest street in Dunedin. It's called Baldwin Street. It's on quite a similar gradient to this one. However, Dunedin is an infamous university town. Loads of drunk students. Not a great combination, drunk students in the world's steepest street. And it's a residential street as well. People live on it, it's paved, people drive on it. Most of the time they avoid driving on it because it's so steep. But drunk students go down this really steep street in shopping carts and wheelie bins. So I don't know how much you know about wheelie bins, but generally they have 2 wheels and no brakes. Luckily these Ice Explorers have 6 wheels and a whole bunch of different braking systems. So we do have a whole bunch of things holding us back and controlling our descent going down this hill here. The first thing, of course, being a very talented driver. Ooh, yeah, okay. The second being a very strong transmission. We're going to stay in first gear the whole way down here. We have something called an engine retarder, so that slows the engine down without the use of a service brake. So I might use the brake a little bit. For the most part, we're not really going to touch it going down here.
This is. Have you seen anything like it? Really?
No, I've never been in anything like this before.
No wonder you're wearing the seat belt.
I know you can bring the rental car down here now.
I don't think so. I don't think you make it. It's crazy. You were in the
I didn't
safari,
know.
we did some crazy roads, eh? People on it, is it?